Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Quick Break Games, and here is some open world Gotham City gameplay here in LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Thanks to WB Games for sending me to Gamescom to record this footage. This is all my gameplay here. So we got to play about 10 minutes here in Gotham City, and so in the demo you get to start out here as Batman, and you have Commissioner Gordon as your co-op partner. I don't think I used him at all in the open world, but he does have like a glider that you can use to kind of get around the city. So you start out in this combat scenario, and the combat, guys, is super similar to Batman Arkham. You know, you got your attack, you got your counter, you got your dodge. You also have, you can see here, these gun enemies, which will try to kind of run away from you to avoid you. So when you're fighting the other guys, they're going to get kind of annoying because they're going to shoot you from a distance, so you kind of want to prioritize them. And there you can actually see Commissioner Gordon took out the enemy, so your co-op partner can help you out in this game. So anyway, after you get done with that first combat scenario, you can use your grapple hook using L1 to grapple around. And when you grapple, you will continue to fly and jump off the building to continue the glide, which is pretty cool. You also can hit R1 to do a focus launch, as you can see here, where he does like the iconic Batman pose from like the Michael Keaton movies. And then you can get a lot of height doing that and kind of gain momentum. And the grapple is pretty cool as well. Like you can grapple while you're grappling, if that makes sense. So you can choose a point to grapple, begin grappling there, and then while you're kind of moving in that direction, then you can choose a different point on a different building and change directions mid-grapple. So that's pretty cool as well. Here's another combat scenario. So there's a few different enemy types here. So you got your gun guys, you got shield guys as well, which you need to hit the B or circle button. This was on a PlayStation controller, by the way. So in this case, you would hit circle to jump around and get behind the shield guys and then hit them from the back. So you kind of have to think about these different enemy types, think about which button you need to hit for each one. And so it definitely can get challenging when there's a bunch of different enemy types in the level. And this is on the hardest difficulty, by the way. This is Dark Knight difficulty, so there are limited lives. You can only die 3 times, then the game will restart you. I don't think I died at all in the open world, though, but you might see that later when I make another video about the level that we got to play, so stay tuned for that. So here we got some more grappling around the city, gliding around. There are collectibles and stuff to find. In the demo, you do have 2 gadgets. You can see on the bottom right, I currently have the Batarang selected. If you hit right on the D-pad, you also have a Bat Claw, which you can use to like pull enemies towards you and solve puzzles and things. Here you can see civilians in the city, like they all got their umbrellas out and stuff. It's pretty cool. The city's not empty. Here is a look at the map. So this is the full map that's going to be in the game, I assume, at least as of right now. There's 4 islands. There's a North Island, a Central Island, a South Island, and then south of the South Island is the Tri-Corner Island. You can see south is definitely the largest of them all. Tri-Corner is the smallest. That's the one that we got to explore in this demo. So yeah, this open world does seem to be pretty massive. You can see South Island was probably, what, 2 to 3 times the size of Tri-Corner. So yeah, there's going to be a ton of playable space. And from what I hear, you kind of unlock the different islands throughout the game. I guess you like build up bridges to get to each one. There, you can see right here, so Commissioner Gordon has his foam gun, and he actually shot me with it. So there is like friendly fire going on here where your co-op partner can hit you. So Commissioner Gordon hit Batman with his foam gun there. Every now and then you will see these cool little takedown animations. So you can build up your special meter there in the bottom left, which is that yellow meter, and then hit R1 to do a special takedown, kind of similar to the Arkham games. Here you have these Wayne Tech chests. This is one of the collectibles that you're going to find throughout the city. He kind of pulls out a little Wayne Tech piece, and so you have to kind of find those throughout. So it seems like there's going to be 20 in the Tri-Corner Island. That's subject to change, though, because this is a demo. And by the way, shout out to WB Games for sending me out to record this gameplay. It was definitely an awesome experience. Here you can see some indoor environments. So you can walk into this diner. There's another collectible here. This is the Bat Token. So there's 50 of those. At least, I don't know if that's around the entire city or what. I wouldn't pay too much attention to the numbers because that might change in the final game. Here you can sit on benches, which I thought was kind of funny. You hit triangle, and Batman can kind of sit on that. There's the bat signal up in the sky. There's just a lot of stuff to cover in this game. Like, there's just so much. It was just so much to experience kind of all at once in this open world. Just all the different collectible types. There's random crimes popping up constantly. There's another Bat Token. There's studs that I'm collecting. The studs look kind of like a mixture of what they looked like in the old LEGO games when they were 2D sprites and what they looked like in Skywalker Saga. So they seem to be 3D like Skywalker Saga, but they changed their design a bit to make them look a little closer to how they looked in the old games. At least that's kind of the idea that I'm getting out of it. I could be completely wrong about that, but they look 3D to me. So here's another combat scenario. Again, you got a guy with a gun, so you want to hit circle to kind of do a roll to dodge them. Took out the guy with the gun. That's one of the Red Hood enemies. So we just took out that enemy. Here we got these little fans that are kind of throughout the city on rooftops, and you can use those to gain height as you're gliding. So if you're gliding and you're losing height, you can find a fan, and that'll kind of levitate you up. There's a dive bomb that I just did there. I don't know if the dive bomb allows you to, you know, go down then pull up to gain more height like you could in the Arkham games. I didn't really experience that, but that's definitely a possibility. I think for the most part the dive bomb is used for like combat scenarios to take out enemies and stuff. Here I'm just kind of gliding around. The gliding controls, by the way, didn't feel as good in my opinion to the Arkham games. You know, in Arkham they kind of perfected it by the time we got to Arkham Knight, the third game. In this game, it's like you have to push forward on the D-pad. I don't know, something about it, something about the controls didn't feel as fluid as the Arkham games, but that could be corrected by the time the game comes out, or it could just be me. Maybe I'm just used to the Arkham controls, so the fact that they're different, they just kind of threw me off. I'm not sure. Here is another Wayne Tech chest here, so we can just open that up and find it. So some of those Wayne Tech caches you can just kind of find out in the open world like I did there. Other ones you have to solve puzzles to get. Here is the Batmobile. Now the Batmobile can be called in at any time. Just hit up on the D-pad and it'll build it right in front of you, and then you can hop in. There's a boost, accelerate, brake. You can do donuts and stuff like that. So yeah, the Batmobile is pretty cool. This is the 2022 movie Batmobile, but the game's gonna have a bunch. Like I know in the trailer they had the Dark Knight 2008 Batmobile. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of content there. So they are hopped out. Commissioner Gordon does kind of jump in the Batmobile with you, and there is the Smiling playing at the theater, which I thought was funny, a reference to The Shining, which Jack Nicholson was in, who played the Joker. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for my open world gameplay here in LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Again, special thanks to WB Games for sending me out here to record this footage. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about the game. I'll try to answer them. Like this video if you enjoyed it, dislike it if not, subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys next time here on Quick Break Games.